It's been a while since we've done one of these, so we're back. And our first guest is Colorblind Dinosaurs. They are a high-energy ska core music collective from Mount Dora, Florida.
That's right.
That's right.
And they're actually going to be visiting our neck of the woods on Long Island, New York this month. But yeah, welcome, guys. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. We're stoked to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
So I guess from left to right, do you guys want to introduce yourselves and what you do in the band? And we'll go from there.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Pops, and I play bass in the band, do some background vocals.
My name's Austin. I do guitar and sing.
I'm Hood, and I play trombone.
Oh gosh. Of course, when we started recording. Can you say your name again? The person on the right.
I'm Jose.
Jose. Is your name?
Yeah,
Pops?
Jose. Yeah.
Is it drummer?
Yeah,
Is it
no,
Pops?
it's actually, yeah, that's what I go by. My name is Herman.
He's actually my Pops, so everybody just calls him Pops.
Oh,
Cool.
All right, good.
Very
to know.
cool.
Good to know.
There you go.
All right. Well,
It's
tell us
easier
about
for people to
CD.
remember.
How did you guys start, and like what inspired the name and all that, and then also the sound. It's a very unique sound, so I'm definitely interested in.
Oh, thank you. We started in about 2017, and it started off with just us three, and then my cousin was originally drumming in the band. We did our first show with him, and then we pretty much knew a couple of other people from being in band together from high school. So that's
we go back.
he actually used to play tuba before,
Yeah.
and I used to play French horn in the band with him.
Yeah.
And then we kind of stayed together. He's actually married to my sister, so that's how he's staying in the mix.
Yeah, right.
But we just started jamming out and needed a bass player. My pop has always played music and stuff, so he was down right away.
Awesome.
And then
So
kind of
nice
took off
little,
from there.
family affair. It's awesome.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
So you started jamming in high school, or did this band start when you were in high school?
Well, I kind of had the idea for the band in high school, but we didn't actually play until like probably a year after I graduated or something like that.
Okay. Cool. So it's been a while now.
Yeah, about 6-7-ish years or so.
Sure.
Nice. And there's more band members, I think, right? I assume with a ska band.
Yeah, live we have a drummer. So
Yeah.
Cool.
that's
Awesome.
basically it. We're like a 4-piece. We used to record with a trumpet. We used to have trumpets live, but now we've just stuck with the trombone,
Yeah, they want trombone.
center stage.
Nice.
Okay.
How does that do you bring in trumpets for live shows, or do you just prefer like the core 4 kind of on?
We used to all the time.
Yeah.
It's just that we're trying to concentrate on our 4-piece kind of
Sure.
That's
kind of like get that ready,
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
ourselves more together.
Once the trumpets weren't available, we found out this configuration works really well too, And it was sort of unique, the sound was unique, and Jose really brings it. So we kind of don't need the trumpet. It's just a nice addition. Maybe one day again.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've actually learned that recently. There's a lot of bands around our area where they can't find trumpet players. That they're a lot harder to come by than I realized.
Trumpets and drummers that are like
Drummers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The big two. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's like every drummer is at least in like 6 bands. Like So
Absolutely.
it's insane. So it kind of came out of a necessity. Like, do you think just having the trombone kind of like adds to your like kind of edgy like sound?
Yeah.
I think so.
We're all about kind of a stripped down raw act.
Sure.
We don't really use effects live at all. It's just straight up music. And I think that the less layers that we have, it kind of brings out more of ourselves in that way,
Okay.
So our music kind of gets to breathe a little bit more in that sense. And it is nice to have more room to kick around on stage as well,
Sure.
so
So since you guys are coming here, what can people expect? I mean, you just kind of gave us a little bit, but what can people expect from a live show of yours?
right on. Yeah. I mean, our music is all over the place. We can go anywhere from ska to punk to reggae to hardcore to like anything else. Like, we don't really hold ourselves to one genre. We just kind of like let it go wherever. It's experimental. It goes up and down and kind of everywhere.
Sure. So hardcore.
Yeah.
All right. Well, give me some hardcore influences of yours.
Yeah, because like when I saw like in your introduction, it was like high energy ska core. I think I listened to Life Lucid, and I'm like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I listened to the EP, I was like, oh, that's where it is. There you go.
It's funny because for a while that was the only song we had out for at least a couple of years,
Yeah.
and everybody would think the same thing. They heard Life Lucid, and then they come see us live, and it was all kind of moshy and stuff, and a little faster. But comes to the heavy influence, I've always liked heavier stuff, and obviously I used to go to Warped Tour every year, and I think that was a big
The Warped
influence
Tour.
on just having both the heavy and the punk influence,
Mhm.
and ska, because there's definitely ska out there as well. Yeah, I mean, I guess to narrow it down onto one band, it would be kind of hard, but just the kind of like energy from the breakdowns and the mosh pits live, kind of like mixed in. It's not like we are big on the heavy stuff, but it does get to that point every now and then, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you prefer like a genre when you're playing live, or do you just kind of like, oh, let's see like what the crowd is feeling, kind of? Or
Well, honestly, we do play some shows that are more reggae lineups, or some shows that are more like pop punk lineups, and some stuff is heavier, and sometimes there's more of a response to one thing. But honestly, I think that the big mix of genre kind of keeps it interesting throughout the whole thing for pretty much any crowd, any genre crowd. If we're on a lineup like that, that kind of stays one way.
Yeah, we wouldn't alter the songs that we play too much. Maybe just the order that we play them in to better fit the show.
Right, yeah.
But we really enjoy that we can play on any show. It doesn't matter what, if it's a ska show or a hardcore show or an emo show, what have you. We kind of find our way in there somehow.
Yeah, it's like we always kind of
go ahead.
Make sense on a lineup, at the same time as make no sense.
Yeah.
And I like you guys have a unique position because you can fit anywhere, so you can have a crazy eclectic fan base.
Mhm.
Have you ever had
Yeah.
have you ever had an instance where, not that it was any drama or anything, where you kind of had like fan base clash? Like maybe someone was expecting a little more of your heavier music when you were playing to like a reggae rock crowd more, anything like that?
Well, yeah, we've had sets where, let's say we started off kind of like on more of like a reggae note, and then right away, once we played something a little bit faster or heavier, you can see people's like face kind of change.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like,
Yeah.
whoa, wasn't
They're
expecting
like,
that. Like not in a bad way, but it's kind of like a little bit of a surprise, which is cool. It's kind of like how our music is. It's kind of surprising and kind of unpredictable. Even for us, we don't even know how we're gonna write. It just kind of
like
goes.
bring him
wherever it
in with
needs
like
to.
the reggae hook, and then you like come in with like the gut punching like riffs and everything. I like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I think most people have actually embraced it. We've seen actually more people have maybe come together rather than had any problems.
Right.
Mhm.
It used to be a little bit more experimental, but now it's kind of feeling more like us. People kind of like are accepting the more wider variety, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
Do you guys have, well, this is actually for each of you, I'm curious. Do you have a favorite show you'd prefer to play? Like, would you prefer to play to a more of a hardcore crowd or a reggae rock crowd or what have you?
Interesting.
That's a hard one.
Well, we did play a ska punk festival, and honestly, that's kind of like one of the least amounts of shows that we do are ska punk shows, and we are kind of like a ska punk band mostly. So when we get to play for that crowd every now and then, it kind of goes off really well because they have like the most understanding of how bands in that genre are, because a lot of bands in the ska punk world kind of just play whatever they want genre wise. And I think that that's why those shows have a good reaction for us, as well as like all the punk shows and pop punk shows too. But
I like to see people's reactions, and I think I see it more like if we play a reggae show, because then we definitely have some reggae, but at the same time we stretch their horizons a bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I also like the festival settings. We're fortunate enough to play several festivals a year, and that's a great setting. Jose?
I don't know. I like playing. I like playing to the punk crowd. You know?
yeah,
They go pretty crazy, and then they don't expect like the reggae stuff, and kind of like oh, okay.
Like, how do I wash to this?
Yeah, you go from like from this to like it's cool. It's cool to see
from
that.
skanking to two-stepping.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like seeing that. That's nice.
Right. So on the subject of like your kind of like different styles of music and everything, I did hear that you're coming out with an album soon. DAR, I think, right? DAR.
Yeah, that's right.
So what direction do you think are you guys going to go in? Is it going to be more like hardcore? Is it going to be more kind of like surf rocky, or is it going to be like a mix of both? Like, tell us a little bit about it if you can.
Right on. Well, Dar honestly kind of hits our root sound as a band. A lot of the songs we've actually played for like a while, even since we recorded Life Lucid back in 2019, I think it was. Yeah. Some of these songs have just been sticking around for a while, and it's like these are the kind of the songs that I think set the bar for our band in general when we would be playing all these live shows. So it's our time to finally have like most of them out together. Mm-hmm. And it actually even has a new version of Life Lucid.
Oh yeah,
that's right. It's kind of like our more updated version of it. So that'll be like on there.
Is it gonna stay true to like the more kind of like reggae sounds, or is it going to be more like
absolutely yeah.
It's a variation of the other one, but we spent a lot of time playing for years before we had any recordings or any merchandise and stuff like that. We just played a lot of shows. We'd play 5 to 7 times a month, and people would always ask us, where can we listen to you? You know, where's your merch? And we're like, we'll get to that.
Yeah, even with like having a few songs out, it still doesn't kind of like fully represent everything that we do. So having the album out now is going to finally show people more of like what we're like, and then kind of more familiarizing our sound with everybody. You know, so we get to finally do that.
Yeah. Well, you're still pretty like, despite not having like an online portfolio, like music portfolio, like you're still pretty successful, like with all the like festivals and shows and everything, and the tour. No less. So like that's great. And it's going to be great that you're going to be able to like reach even more people with a recorded version of everything. So that's
right.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that for sure.
Exciting. Actually, on the subject of tours and everything, I hear you're coming to Long Island pretty soon. You don't have to say Long Island is where you're most excited to go, but do you have like a venue or like a city or anything that you're most excited for? Amityville Music Hall or
absolutely. Amityville Music Hall is like the big goal on the tour, and we were able to get that, and that's why we're super stoked. And we're getting to do that with Half Dizzy, which is a super awesome band out that way. And so we're really looking forward to that one. That one's going to be really fun on March 15th, Wednesday.
Yes.
You could almost say that was our end target, and then we built the tour between that.
Yeah, so we're
working our way up and working our way back.
Yeah, kind of horseshoeing through the Carolinas and Georgia and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're driving up there, right? Or are you
Wow. But we're not going all the way there. We're starting in Georgia because we have to pick up our drummer in Athens, and we're doing our first show there. And then from there, we'll be driving through the Carolinas and working our way up there throughout the week.
Fun. I hope to see some tour vlogs and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be great. That's awesome.
We'll keep it updated for sure.
That's good.
So are tickets on sale for any of these shows yet? Can people start buying tickets for the AMH show or anything, or is it not up yet?
I don't think it's up yet, but this next week that should be up. We'll be announcing tomorrow on Sunday, and then after that, everything should be available for everybody to go look and see info and stuff on all the shows.
Cool.
Yeah.
So by the time anybody sees this interview, everything will be on sale. So perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
Okay.
This is going to be like a weird kind of like out of left field question, but has anybody mispronounced your band in like a really funny way that's like stuck out to you? Like, have you ever done Colorblind Dinosaurs?
Honestly, the most common one we hear is colorful dinosaurs.
Oh,
I don't know why colorful dinosaurs. I mean, it kind of isn't too far off, you know. Colorblind, colorful.
What actually inspired the name Colorblind Dinosaurs? Just like imagining.
Kind of has to do with like a bunch of random thoughts. Honestly, it wasn't like so much of the meaning of the word as it was just sounding cool to say that.
That's true.
And capital CBD was just to be funny.
Yeah, make sure. For
those type of people, but it wasn't really like
what
super
kind of people? Hey, speak
right.
for. Oh no, yeah, he's right.
It was more for just to have fun with it, you know, like not take it way too serious, just to have something kind of goofy, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I love the name. I still look at the name regardless of being in the band, and it makes me smile every single time.
And
people seem to remember it for as long as it is.
What your band sounds like too. It's like Colorblind Dinosaurs. Like they're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, kind of like weird, like our band sound.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're like an onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia. Yeah, I
Yeah, a
suppose
little
so.
bit.
Well, I don't think that's the definition anymore. But
Sure, it's
we're
not,
thinking
but it works.
Remind me later what that word means.
All right, so I have a question I ask every band. I actually wasn't going to ask it, but I want to. So a band asked me this like probably a year or two ago, and I had no answer. So I'm curious, and this is for each of you as well. If, let's say 10, 15, 20 years from now, obviously, if you already have children, you might already have the answer done. If you had to choose your first album to show your child, like the album that, like, obviously maybe like 10, 11, 12, not when they're like very little, but if you had like one album that you were like, all right, this describes my upbringing, this is why I listen to the music I listen to, I play this, what would it be?
For me, it would have to be what's the one by Streetlight Manifesto?
is it the one with like the bench or like the bench album? Or no, maybe I'm thinking of something
Oh,
else.
it's Everything Goes Numb.
Yeah,
Everything
Everything
Goes
Goes
Numb.
Numb.
Everything
It was one of their first ones. Everything Goes Numb.
Yeah.
That was like the big one for me because it
Yeah.
has all the kind of heavier horn part songs and ska stuff.
Mhm.
What about you?
Well, I've actually already done it, so I'll have to say it was mostly Santana. Not any
okay.
specific album, but I happened to go see him live 11 times.
Wow.
And it almost seems like every time I went, some new friend or family member was tagging along for the first time. And actually, I took them to a Santana concert when they were little.
That's awesome.
And if you think about it, he combined all sorts of different types of music together.
Sure.
And even to this day, I guess he plays with a number of different artists from all kinds of different worlds of music. So that's what I did.
Cool.
Do you have any regrets showing them Santana, or would you pick something else if you had to do it again? Or
No, I think it worked out pretty good.
That was actually my first concert.
Cool.
Jose?
What about you, Jose?
What would you show you kids?
What would I show them? I don't know. Just because like my background, like being Mexican and also like American coming in here, and like for me, the American would be somewhere in between Streetlight,
Okay.
but also in the Mexican, Spanish ska, it would be Panteon Rococo. They're like a really cool like ska
Absolutely checking
band.
that out. I didn't know Spanish ska was a thing until now. So
Oh no, it's amazing. You definitely look into it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
cool.
definitely, we listen to it when we're driving places all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, and it's
What-
pretty
what's
cool.
what's the band called? I'm probably not gonna be able to.
Panteon,
Pantheon.
Panteon,
Like Pantheon.
but yeah, Panteon Rococo, like RO Coco.
Huh.
Found them.
Oh, Pantheon Rococo. I feel like I've heard of them. Okay. I will check them out. Not sponsored, but I'll absolutely check them out. That sounds great. I didn't know Spanish ska was a thing, so there we
Oh
go.
my god, it's
Well,
great.
for 3 million monthly listeners, they're doing something right.
Holy shit. All right, cool. Maybe I'll show my future kids Pantheon Rococo. Okay. Or maybe we'll see. I don't know. But yeah.
So my next question for you, kind of going back to the tour a little bit. Do you guys have a favorite show or a favorite moment from a show that you've had in the past few years?
Ooh.
Well, the last show of the tour is Wilmington, North Carolina, and
No. Good.
our first ever out-of-state show was in Wilmington, and to this day, every time we go back, it's always a hit. There's always people that remember us from the first show, or we're always making new fans to come see us again. And I think that's the one that we always look forward to routing, because actually the drummer that started our band, John, he moved up to Wilmington and started a band called Spider Bucket. So he does like solo folk punk stuff. And that's how we got in over there, is that he would host shows for us whenever we wanted to come up and try to tour up a little bit, and kind of based our tours around that. We would start adding shows after that or something like that,
Spider Bucket looked like, just as an aside, is a really cool band name. Holy shit.
Oh yeah,
By the
definitely check that out.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
George John. That one.
Love it.
Yeah, I would say that that show was. I think it's where we first felt like, oh wow, we've been there for a while now. Got that kind of validated that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Oh,
in a
yeah.
basement at like at a college house, you know, and it was just packed down there, and everybody, you know, we felt famous for a minute there where we had never felt that before, you know.
Yeah.
So that was really nice.
Even with nobody knowing any of the songs, and I think that at that time the only song we had out was Life Lucid. So if anybody looked us up, they definitely didn't know what to expect even by that. So that was
Absolutely.
really fun to get to see that reaction, you know.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
great. That's
definitely the favorite one. That's it. I was like, oh man, it's crazy. This can go far.
That was kind of a
Yeah.
crazy moment to be realizing that at the same time as we were playing, because like, you know, we always look forward to playing shows, and to that point we had played a few shows like around the state, and then getting to do what we like to do, just like to a whole new crowd of like completely brand new people, kind of changed the course of our band, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, we've had amazing
it's one of
shows
those, like,
before and
revolutionary
since.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, we've had amazing shows before and since, but that one just had a special boost in our, I guess, in our time together.
Yeah.
Especially that when we go back to Wilmington, that we do have that solid following kind of like every time we get to play out there. So it's really cool to see everybody again, you know, when we do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so it's like a nice little like time capsule, or like coming back to like your roots.
Yeah, that it feels like when we're playing another Central Florida show, it's kind of like we know we're going to bring
There's gonna be
a crowd in. We know that they're going to be our friends there. We're going to hang out and have a good time. And it's kind of like, you know, another piece of home just out of state, feels like.
And we have a place to sleep. So
oh yeah, that's
always the important.
for everybody out there, we might need a place to sleep.
We do have family out that way, so that's convenient too.
Perfect. That's great.
For all the shows you guys have played before, is there any like local bands or smaller bands that you've really liked playing with, or anyone that you want to play with again, or anyone that you're playing with on this tour that you're excited about?
Or hope to play with.
Oh, absolutely. We make all types of friends in different genres. When it comes to smaller bands, we've been playing with Fuakata from Miami. They're like a new ska punk band that they've been killing it. Bargain Bin Heroes is another ska punk band from Cape Coral, Florida. We've gotten to play with a few bigger bands, a few touring bands, like Super Villains. That's one of our favorite ones to play with every now and then.
They're awesome.
We've played with Keep Flying before, and those guys are awesome.
The Bastard Sons.
Bastard Sons.
Yeah, we've had some great opportunities, some great nights. But as a matter of fact, we're playing in Stewart tonight, for us tonight.
Yeah, right.
At the time of recording today.
Yeah. We're playing
that's with
Fuakata.
Fuakata,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some of those bands that he mentioned, especially like Fuakata and Bargain Bin Heroes and stuff like that, these people have become like family to us now. You know?
Yeah. Of course, Spider Bucket.
Spider Bucket is family.
Yeah.
For sure. Licks.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, I'm sure the show isn't until like later on today, but regardless, good luck. I mean, you guys can kill
Thank you
it.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
But yeah, with that, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is great, especially at like super early in the morning.
Absolutely.
Before we let you guys go, give us an elevator pitch about Colorblind Dinosaurs if people just aren't convinced at this point to listen to you guys or like watch you guys at a show. Like,
all right. Well, if you're into energetic shows live and you like also chill reggae music, but you need a breakdown not too far away from that, then
you like wake up a little bit once you're like chilling on the beach.
Right.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I mean, basically, it's fun and it's fast, and it'll brighten your day.
and we got Jose playing trombone super strong. So.
What more do you need?
That's it. Don't listen to the music. Just look at Jose. That's it.
Exactly. Look at that smile.
It's
all
like,
smiles.
you like having fun, come see us.
We're all about fun.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Well, again, thank you guys so much for those listening.
And thank you guys.
Thank you,
Before
yeah, thank
to,
you.
what was it March 15th? Amityville with Half Dizzy. Yeah,
Yes.
check them out. It's gonna be a fun time. A great Wednesday show to go to. Very
absolutely.
looking forward to it. And yeah, we'll see you guys very, very, very soon.
Sounds good. Thank
yeah.
you guys very
Thank
much
you.
for having us.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right.
All right.
Bye.